Hi, I'm the mini painting noob, and today I'm going to be finishing off the bridge troll from the board game The Grimm Forest. I only got a few colours to finish this guy off. We've got his cloak over here, back and front. I've got to do the tree coming up the side of the wall. I've got to do the ground layer, and then we've got to finish off the bridge bricks themselves. So quite a big area to paint, but quite simple and not too many colours. So I'll just stream this and have a chat while we go through it. Let's see how we go. And let's get cracking. So to start off, I'm going to be doing the dark wood on his fur coat. So give that a quick mix up. I did pre-mix these before filming, so they shouldn't need too much of a shake. Few drops of that, and let's get to painting. Alrighty, so it's going to need quite a lot. I should probably use a big brush, but I quite like using the smaller brushes as they give me more control. I think that's cloak there, I'm not sure, it's cloak now. It's sort of coming out of the rock. He's sort of like exploding out of the side of the bridge, and rock is coming with him. This is very bubbly, so I just want to make sure that I get paint underneath those bubbles. Just doing around his neck fur, and I'll come back down and tackle this stuff. Get the whole front of him here. Flip him upside down, I'm sure he loves that. So all these edges I'm not a fan in using a larger brush, so the smaller one is working for me. I think this is a number 2 red sable. There we go, it's the front of him. I did contemplate maybe doing a different brown for the furry elements around his neck. I don't know what it would be called, like the hood or cloak part, but we'll just go with the same colour here. One and done. It's the Army Painter, what do you call it? Motto, is it? The saying for this paint, one coat and you're done. So let's just go real quick. How fast can we pump this guy out? So I already did the green. This is actually one of the first minis I painted before I started this channel, and I was playing around with the speed paint colours, and so the green is a mix of the orc and pallid bone, orc flesh and pallid bone. So you get this really muted green colour. I'm hoping I'm not going to have too many spots that I have to clean up here. there's a few. Let's give this a quick clean up. Just going to be making the chin a little bit darker with that brown coming around, that's fine. Alrighty, so that's come around his face alright. Just fix up these edges just a little bit. So the paint is really good at pulling at the edges, but then with gravity it can go over the edge that you're wanting to paint. So it's always good once you've painted an area to then just go around and look at each edge and, you know, make sure that you're happy with the outlines that you've got. I think I can do a little bit better here. And his face and jaw, I think that's fur hugging right up to his face. Could be wrong, but it's fur now. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Let's continue along the sides. Quite dark under here because this is one of the first models that I did the zenithal, and it's almost straight up black straight underneath here, but just tinting it all just this brown colour will still look good. Okay, that's that. So we've got his cloak running all the way around. Excellent. Alright, so let's move on to the next colour. So I'm going to do hardened leather, and that will be for the tree. Now, this one I would normally pick a smaller brush, but I'm going to go with the 2 still, so it's just a 2. If you can read that. Let's have a look. There you go, that's what I'm using, Das Pure Red Sable number 2. It's not looking very good at the moment, but it does have a point. So look at that. So I could do a smaller brush, but let's see, that's it loaded up. This is how big the thing I'm painting. See, I don't know, is it the right size brush? I'm not sure. I do unload the brush a little bit before touching the plastic, so it's not going to get like a full load of paint just, you know, blotted on there. A bit more control. It wasn't a thing that I knew that you had to do when I first started. It was like, oh, you dip your paint in, you chuck it on the plastic. But no, you've got to control how much liquid you've got on the tip and in the bristles, and yeah, it's a challenge. Alright, bottom of the tree. Doing this upside down because I am right-handed and it's easier to get to. Alright, so yeah, I'm feeling a bit slow and yeah, just a bit slow today. I'm recovering from spinal surgery. And this is the first mini I am painting since then. So I wanted to pick something I thought would be quite easy and you know, still produce something interesting to look at. Yeah, I'm not going as fast as I thought I would. Yeah, I think I'd rather not get a whole bunch of brown on the brickwork because I'm going to be painting this a light grey, so I have done that, so I'll do a little bit of cleanup. I want to get these lines looking, feeling nice. Let's come on this side, so you probably won't be able to see this particularly well, but right in there, there's some brown. I know, even though a person isn't going to see it, I just want to paint it a little bit. Alright. Well, just doing that made this figure look a million times better to what it was, but there is some fix-up stuff that needs to happen. I don't know how the grey I'm going to use would react to hitting brown, so this is quite a prominent feature. I just want to clean up these lines. And for this I just use a synthetic, so what is it, an Army Painter standard hobby brush. It's from their 3 set. Which I think, yeah, I think going forwards I'll probably just buy individual brushes that I want, rather than sets going forwards. Okay. Alright, that's cleaned up enough. As the brickwork is the biggest area, I was going to do that last, so we'll now move on to doing the stonework. So you can see I've already started basing this figure. And so for that I'll be using sand golem, so I'll get some of that out. And it just makes a, let's drop that, and I'm not supposed to bend it over, never mind. Okay, sand golem, let's get a cheap brush. So going over basing stuff, I'm not going to use my regular brush. I'm just using this is a bulk pack number 4 round from Reeves, but it's got a decent tip on it, but the tips don't last. So here I'm just going to dab all the way around, and I'm going to be picking up some of the stonework where it's not been glued properly. And I'm just going over the small stones, not the bigger ones. So just sort of making that sort of muddy path look. Just dab it along. Cool, there we go. So speed paint is great for this basing stuff as well. Goes on nicely. So last colour is the runic grey. So I thought we'd go for a blue grey brickwork. So I've already done around this underneath and the back. I've used Grimm black, and then across the top and around the arches I've used Gravelord grey, and now for the bricks themselves, the top and the sides, I'm going to be using runic grey. Let's give it a quick shake. So I haven't used this paint much yet, so I'm not sure what it's going to give us. We'll find out. So again, let's grab my number 2 sable. Let's start with the back here, since I don't know what it's going to look like. If it's really bad, we can stop. And I'm just going to give all of these bricks a good stain, and make sure we get into the gaps as well. I think it's doing a good job. It's highlighting some of these textures in these individual blocks. I'll just dab it on fairly thick and let it do its thing. Alright, front. I don't know how fast that was. That's pretty quick for one and done. Here I've got to go a bit slower. We've got some extra things to avoid. I don't want to get it on the wood. I don't want to get it on the troll. Is it a troll? Yeah. Don't want to get it on the wood or the troll. That's a nice colour though. It's, well, at least when it's wet. Let's see if I still like it when it's dry. And you can see half of that because I'm not in frame. Look at that. Apologies. Make sure we get it all in the creases. And the other side of the tree. There's quite a bit of brown here on the brickwork, so I'm not sure what that will end up looking like. I might want to go over that again and clean up that line. It's just that very last little mini brick there has got some brown on it. Okay. Might be fine. Alright, so that's that. So let's do the top now. I'm contemplating painting some of these stones individual colours. But to start with, I'll just get a general pattern going. We'll see what that looks like, and then I might pop out some stones with you know, darker grey or maybe an orange. Assuming stones used for roads weren't all uniform colours, but that might also just detract from the model because the stone path is not the focal point. The troll, or the troll's face, should be the focal point, so I could also keep that in mind. Just making sure that I get good coverage in all of these gaps, but no single gap has way more paint pooling than any of the other gaps. So yeah, I think that is good. Make sure all the flat surfaces are fairly standard looking. This is where here other paints you'll get like coffee stain marks. With speed paint that's not an issue, or a lot less of an issue. So these flat surfaces should dry really nicely. Yeah, that is that. So this guy is coloured in now. It's looking much better than at the start of the episode. I'm going to come back in and do his eyes a bit more. I was going to probably do a little bit more work on his teeth. But as an overall figure, he is almost done. So there we have it. That is the bridge troll from the Grimm Forrest. I've been the mini painting noob, and as always, it is okay to be a noob, so just carry on painting. You're doing great out there. See you.